Well, I want to make a little video about this Tiger 660. After two and a half years of owning her now, I bought her back in the spring of 2022. I hadn't ridden for a while. I had ridden early in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and wanted to get back into riding. And, you know, I knew I wanted a sporty bike. I wanted something that I could tour with, carry my stuff with luggage, carry a passenger, but yet, you know, strip it down and just ride the twisties as well and enjoy it. So, you know, I was speaking to a friend, and he had a Triumph. He has a Triumph, and he said, listen, why don't you go over to Triumph Deal to see what they have? You know, maybe there's some nice used bikes in stock, some used touring bikes in stock. So I went over, and they did. They had an 800 Tiger used. I think it had about, I don't know, 18,000 miles on it, which, quite frankly, isn't much for a good bike. You know, so I got on her, and I just honestly, I don't love the Tiger line. I know this is a Tiger, but this really is not in the Tiger line. It's really a sport tourer. It's got much more sport in its pedigree than it does, you know, off-road ADV type riding. So I sat on that bike, the 800, and it just didn't talk to me. It just wasn't my style. So, you know, we ended up going back to the showroom, and just this bike had just come out. And I saw it on the road. I said, what is this bike, man? He said, you're not going to want this bike. He did everything he could to dissuade me from purchasing this particular bike. It's only got a 660 in it. It's not going to be enough on the highways. You're not going to be able to get it up there. You know, it's just not going to be what you want. And I said, well, you know, I like it. I like the styling. So I sat on her, and she felt great, comfortable. You know, an upright but sporty body position. It just felt really good to me. It spoke to me, and it said, you know, this is the kind of bike you want. I liked that it was light, and light means nimble. I liked the fact that the price was right. That's always good. And, you know, and it had a decent amount of horsepower. It had 80 horsepower, 80, 81, or 82 horsepower stock, which is nothing to laugh at. You know, that's pretty good. I mean, you know, you could ride 80 on the highway all day, you know. So I bought her. And it's one of the best things I've ever done. I just love this bike. It's sporty. It's, you know, to me, a bike needs to be a couple different things. It needs to be sporty, lightweight, nimble, reliable. Has to have some power to it. And this bike has all those things, man. It's just really awesome. Now, that being said, I did do some upgrades. First thing I did to the bike was change the suspension. The stock suspension was okay, but just okay. It, you know, it really wasn't up to snuff. So I did some research and came upon Nitron suspension, British brand, and bought it, had it installed, and that made a world of difference. I'm able to dial in for my weight, for a passenger's weight. It's just really great. It really performs well in the twisties. I have the Nitron full suspension, front and rear, as you can see. And that's the first thing I did to her. Second thing I did was, I know everyone was talking about upgrade your brakes, but You know, upgrading calipers is not always the wise thing to do. I mean, this doesn't come with Brembos, it comes with Nissin, which are not bad. Dual piston Nissin up front. So I did upgrade the pads. I went to EBC sintered pads, and that gave me a little more grip. It's nice. I like the way that feels. The next thing I did to her was I wanted to upgrade the, I wanted to get a little sound to it. I mean, the stock sound is okay, but, you know, to me a bike needs to sound right, bottom line. So I upgraded the, you know, I did some research and I came upon Zard, the Italian brand. And I got to tell you, I love it. The Zard exhaust is great. I got it in powder coat black. It's just a beautiful exhaust. It sounds great on the triple. And I love it in the powder coat black. Just blends in with the motor really nicely. That was the second thing I did to her. Third thing, suspension, brakes, and then exhaust. Along with that exhaust, of course, I flashed the motor. I flashed the ECU. I had I believe it's a DNK flash, highly recommended. Just opened up the motor, put a nice racing air filter in there, and that just opened up the motor. It just feels great. I then started researching what else I could do to help performance on the bike, and a lot of the forums, the British forums, were talking about a 17-tooth front sprocket, comes stock with a 16. So I upgraded that to 17, dropped about maybe 300 to 400 RPM off the top end, made my first gear a lot more usable, and just, you know, just overall improved the performance of the gearing. And then what else did I do? I did some Denali lights, just for more visibility. They're plug and play. Those are great. I just love those. When I bought the bike, I did heated grips. You know, I did hand guards. I did a phone mount, of course. Everyone needs a phone mount. What else do I do to her from the dealer? Oh, I put a speed shifter in, quick shifter. Yeah, there she is. After my first chain started to wear and sprockets, when I changed the sprockets out, I went to the 17-tooth front. I put a nice beefy chain on there. Gives me some extra mileage on that. And I kept the rear sprocket the same, stock. Upgraded the horn. Give me a little more loud horn. Did some fog lights on there, as you can see. Did some cosmetics. Did a little bit of this carbon fiber, forged carbon fiber wrap, which I like. I think it's fancy. Also upgraded the to a nicer looking rotors, front, rear, and front. Very nice. I like the way that looks. Other than that, that's about it, man. What else can I think of that I've done to this bike? That's it. Rest of it's, I mean, can't call it stock, but rest of it I just left alone. Also went, once my tires needed changing, I went to the Michelin Road 6s. Came with Road 5s, but I have the Road 6s. I'm very happy with these tires. These are great tires, actually. I did some racing tape on the rims. That's it. I mean, I lightened her up. Good 25 pounds. She's probably around 425, 426 wet. I always keep my back pannier on just to carry my stuff. I like to carry some stuff in there, you know. Air pump, tire fix, extra clothes and whatever else I need. Extra gloves, different gloves and stuff. Oh, the other thing I did was I got a nice radiator cover, Evotech radiator cover. Oh, and I did do a riser. I got a SW Motec riser, which was nice, man. It just gave me a little, brought the bars up just a little bit more. And you know, the bike doesn't come with cruise, which is a bummer. I mean, they should put cruise control on these. I think every bike should need cruise control, but I guess they make these bikes for a price point, and I just didn't. I guess they couldn't fit it in. So, instead I went to this Keoki throttle lock, and I got to tell you, this thing is pretty awesome, man. It does exactly what you want it to do. It works great. I highly recommend that, man. If your bike does not come stock or you can't install cruise, it really works well on the highway. And you know, it doesn't lock it in. You know, it allows you to still throttle up, throttle down, but it just keeps it nice and stiff. So when you actually want it to sit at a particular throttle position, it does very easily. That's about it, man. That's my Tiger 660 in a nutshell, man. I love her. That being said, I do have $200 down on the new Tiger 800 Sport that's coming out. It's supposed to be this identical frame with an 800cc motor in it, 113 horsepower stock. That should be something. So I put $200 down on at my dealer, and hopefully I get first dibs on the first ones to come in. Now, I'm going to ride her first. If she's my bike with more power, I'm going to jump on it.